Hello, visionaries. I'm back on live. Oh my goodness, I was running all over the place trying to find somewhere to take this live today. Hotel was no good. Starbucks indoor was no good. Now I'm outside of Starbucks, so I hope this is better. You can confirm if you guys can hear me. That way, I can make sure my audio is all right at least. If the audio is not very good, I'll end up recording this separately and sending the recording just to make sure that we can hear it clearly. But regardless, excited to be here and just despite all the running around, and I will send the recording after if I end up doing a recording instead, which I might because it's kind of loud here. But regardless, I'm looking forward to having this conversation today. Today is turning your story into sales and opportunities. Uh, I want to welcome you here because this is an exciting topic, and I'm just glad you're here. So, again, just grab your coffee, your notebook, and let's dive in. Today, we're talking about how to turn your story into sales and an opportunity engine. By the end, you'll see how your book or your story can be the open door to visibility, authority, and premium clients. Um, Quick housekeeping: you are able to drop questions in the chat for live Q&A later. So at any moment, if you feel you would like to ask any questions, please drop them in the comments, and I will be answering them for um, quick Q&A after the live stream. So yes, and feel free to drop them at any moment. I might also answer them through the live. But thank you all for being here. I hope you can hear me a little okay, at least enough to catch what I'm saying. Let me know if the comments if you can hear, and let us know where you're tuning in from. I want to see who's here with us today. And first, I want to start by sharing with you a personal story that I have about kind of what inspired me to start turning my story into sales because I have a background in finance. And so at this time, I think several years ago, maybe even like 5 years ago, I was in the insurance business, and I kept seeing these ads to purchase an ebook that would show you how to get insurance leads without phone calls. And so I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I kept seeing the ad. And finally, I think I like subscribed to it or something. And I saw that they were offering an ebook too to share the process of how to do all that. And so I signed up. I purchased the ebook. It was like $4.95. And I said, immediately I read the book because I was intrigued and I was really interested. So immediately I read the book, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I loved that they shared their framework inside the ebook, and I really got to understand their process and how they are able to, like they said, get leads for insurance and financial services without hopping on or without doing cold calls, is what they said. And so immediately I got to capture the process and I understood it. And they said, we can build this framework for you. And I said, oh, okay, well, yeah, it makes sense, right? Because they have built the process, they know how to do it, and they shared in the book how they do it. But, not everyone is, tech savvy or can build their own landing pages or their own ads or their own, whatever the case. And or even their own copy, their own marketing, uh, for that matter. So I was like, let me book a call, because that was their call to action, was to book a call after reading the book and to sign up for a strategy call or something like that, or a discovery call, connection call, whatever that was at that time. And so I got on the call, and like, I was already sold. By the time I was on the call, I was already sold because I read the book, right? So I was already into the book, and I understood the framework already. I was sold. And so speaking to them, I felt very honored. I was like, well, now I get to be on this call with you guys. And I signed up. It was $6,000. The program was $6,000. And I signed up, and I felt like it was a great decision because, again, I already understood their framework from reading their ebook, from seeing their ads. And finally, I said, okay, this makes sense to me and I'm ready for it. So I signed up right away. And again, it was a great decision because I'm a reader. I like to read books, and I do like to understand what I'm getting myself into before maybe hopping on a sales call or before purchasing something, especially high ticket, right? So what I did was actually felt like I was knowledgeable before hopping on the sales call. And so this is why I'm sharing the story, is because books work, right? And they work for the right people, the people like me, right? That the people like me that like to read books and understand processes and blueprints, before, basically, like, analyze everything before you commit to a certain thing. And so I did. I read the book. I saw the ads. I looked at their socials or whatever the case, and I was like, yes, this makes sense, right? And they're experts at this. Clearly, they wrote a book about it. They're selling the book. They're marketing the book. And so then later I got into publishing, and I was like, no wonder, people were using their books as funnels, because yeah, it attracts the right people. And then especially the people who actually went through the book, right? They didn't just buy the book. They went through the book, they read the book, and now they're like, yes, let me hop on this call with you because what you said makes sense to me. And now I might have some questions, or I'm ready to sign up. And that's the beauty of the books, right? And using the books as a funnel and using the books in your business. So this is perfect for you if you're a coach, if you're a speaker, if you're, in the transformational space, a thought leader, and you're ready to share your framework, right? Most coaches, they have their own unique framework. And I think that it's very powerful for you to be able to share your framework in detail. And then once you've already built that framework or shared that framework, then publish it, right? And start using that book to fuel your business growth. Because um, when you can do that, right, you're going to attract a lot of those high quality leads, people that are into reading, right? People that want to learn, people that already understand your process on some level, right? Obviously, they might not understand it fully if it requires certain things, but they will at least have some sort of an idea so that they can feel more confident to be able to move forward with booking a call or asking you questions, or maybe they're ready to sign up, right? That's the best case scenario. And that does happen. Clearly, I did it myself, right? So I'm a firm believer in that because, like I said, I dropped $6,000 into a program because I read the book, because I saw the ads, not once, multiple times, and I felt confident. And till this day, I look back at that decision and I'm like, that was a great decision because I understood their process before I signed up, you know? And whatever I got into it because I made an educated decision. And that also made me really feel confident about my investment, you know? Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is just a quick live today. I think I'm going to re record this live because it's really loud here and there's like a lot of distractions. I was not expecting this. I was supposed to be in my hotel and they were cleaning it when I was there, so I had to run around. But I appreciate you ladies for your patience. Nadia, Ebony, Jacqueline, thank you so much, ladies, for being here. I might have to reschedule our live, Jackie, just because like I'm not finding a quiet space to do this. So I need to settle in somewhere this evening. Maybe we can still do it this evening. I just need to find a spot that's actually quiet. But really appreciate you ladies being here. I hope this is resonating. Is this making sense? Like, have you ever had this experience before where you um, felt really confident about a sale that you made because you felt very educated? You felt like the person that sold you whatever thing, offer, program, service that you bought into really did a good job of explaining, one, their framework, two, how they work, and three, their mission, all the things, right? Which is all things you can do inside a book. So yeah, I'm glad it's making sense, ladies. Thank you. I'll share a little bit more and then I'm going to hop off. And like I said, I will record this and make it more polished because, you know, there's been a lot of distractions here. But basically, what I want to tell you is that the pathway to your book and your visibility and premium clients is building that funnel with your book or a signature story that establishes authority. So this could be a memoir, this could be a business book sharing your framework. There's different types of books that could really showcase what you're already doing in your business. And it gets you, number two, that it gets you on visibility, right? It gets you in the podcast, it gets you on stages, on summits, in the media, because you're automatically just positioned as an expert. You published a whole book on this subject. That's incredible. That's a big milestone. Not everybody can do that. I remember when I was younger, I would always look at people that would publish books and I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. I could never see myself publishing a book because that looks like a lot of work. And so I thought it was insane. And, you know, it really kind of is. But with the right support, if you have the right systems, the right framework, then it's totally manageable. So, and that's what I've learned, right? I went from, I would never do something like that. That looks like a lot of work, to actually doing it because I had support, because I had a team and I had a mentor, and it all made sense in the end, you know, but it wouldn't have made that much sense if I hadn't taken the opportunity, you know? So that's why I want to tell you. And because of that, you know, you'll also attract premium clients. Your story magnetizes people who are already aligned and ready to invest. One of my anthology authors turned her chapter into a 10K client, a client pipeline, by weaving it into her talks and her social media posts and doing sales at her speaking engagements. So I want to ask you now, where in your business could you lean more into your story right now? Is it your content? Is it more podcast interviews? Is it maybe you are ready to publish a book? I think content is a big one personally because it's free marketing. You can really share a lot and publish a lot in your content. If you're not ready to, publish a book or write the book, you can still write content and you can still share your framework in your content, and it can work a little bit of the same, right? Thank you, Nadia. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you, ladies, for being so awesome. This has been an amazing opportunity to be in your ladies' space and continue to be in your space. I love nurturing my relationships, and I wouldn't want it any other way. So I just want to give, I'm going to hop off here soon because this loudness is driving me nuts. But I want to tell you, ladies, that I want to leave you with a simple funnel that you can implement this week. So, number one, story content. Post a video where you share your story. Use a hook. Share something that was painful that you overcame in the transformation. And then number two, write a call to action, right? What is it inviting them to? A freebie, a masterclass, your community? Invite people to download it and join or attend. Or maybe it's a strategy call or a sales call or a connection call or a discovery call, right? Those are all different words. But they all kind of go hand in hand, right? The people get to know you, they get to know your story, they get to relate to you and resonate, and then maybe they feel so aligned and they'll book a call with you or they'll download your freebie. So, don't overcomplicate it. Your story does most of the heavy lifting. Trust. Um, so, here's a question to ask you, ladies. What part of your story do you feel like you're ready to share so that the right people that are perfect for your services could hear it or tune into it? Call them out too. Don't be afraid to call them out. Say who it's for. Hey, I'm specifically speaking to the coaches, the spiritual coaches, the life coaches. I'm specifically speaking to the nutrition specialists. Whoever you're speaking to, don't be afraid to call them out. What you put out is what you will receive. If you're calling someone out, they're going to come in at some point. Yes, Ebony, you do need to do this. I would love to hear more of your story. You have an insane story, Ebony, actually. And there's so many parts of your story. And I think you do a good job. Naturally, I do see you post about your story and and you share some of your story in Latte with Leaders too. So you're already on your way there, You're doing a great job. If anybody has any last minute questions, please ask. Let me know what you're thinking, what came up for you. Like I said, I will record this live and I will send you a polished version of it where it's not freaking loud in the background. If we don't have any questions, that's all right. I do have one of my own questions that I will answer for you guys. Give me 2 minutes. So what if my story isn't dramatic enough? There's no such thing, or maybe not unique enough. I've heard that question before, and I've asked that question before. And you know what I always say? There's no such thing. Like, everyone's story is unique. Your story is unique. Even if it sounds similar to somebody else's story, it's still not someone else's story. It's your story, and it's from your perspective. It's from your lens. It's how you experienced it. Just be true to your authentic self, Jackie says. Yes, I agree. That's what's going to make all the difference. That's why your story is different. How do I share my story without oversharing? I've actually asked somebody had asked me that, and that is a really solid question, because I think that a lot of people, that is one of their biggest fear, is that maybe they feel like they're oversharing. Maybe they don't want to use certain names. And that's totally okay. And you don't have to. You don't have to use other people's names. And you don't have to overshare. I say to start with the parts of your story that you have already overcome. Speak to the person, the version of you from 5 years ago that, look at you where you are now and where you were 5 years ago. That person, that 5 years ago version of you is probably looking up to you right now and is really proud of you. So speak to that person. That's your ideal client. That's the person you're going to magnetize. And then you're not oversharing because it's something you've already overcome. So it's coming from a place of empowerment, not pity or whatever the case, Yes, Jacqueline, I'm glad it resonates. I know you will. I'm so excited to start on your book, Jacqueline. I cannot wait. So, yes, just a little recap before I bounce out. Your story is your visibility, and it's your opportunity for clients, for premium clients, the right clients, the ideal clients. So, if you're ready to turn your story into a movement and a magnet for premium clients, this is exactly what I help women do inside my publishing and business growth programs. This week, we do have 10% off all of our publishing opportunities, solo book publishing, and some of our anthologies as well. We have Latinas Who Lead is coming up in October. Moms Rise and Thrive is coming up in September. And we have 100 Voices of Women Who Lead is publishing in February, which we are already accepting authors for. So if any of those resonate with you, I will drop the links here on the description, or reach out to me via Instagram or whatever. I am Jen Lara. I'm happy to chat with you and answer your questions and just send you the details to the book that feels most aligned for you. But thank you, ladies, so much for tuning in, and thank you for your patience. I was not expecting this hectic day. And Jacqueline, I'll reach out to you, see if we can reschedule our call for later this evening, or if not, tomorrow or something, just because I need to get somewhere quieter. This is too loud and too busy, too much, too overstimulating. Yes, I will add the links on the description. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Ebony. You ladies are amazing. I'll send the recording from this here soon. I'll send the polished version. Bye, everybody.